What are some of the most interesting nations at the start of the game? Well, you'll have your answers today, alright? Naples is one of my personal favorite nations, and it is really interesting for a variety of reasons. First off, you have this awesome, epic, absolutely Chad tier mission tree, and I'm looking at ideas, so I really just meant ideas. Mission tree is great also, don't get me wrong here, okay? But the ideas are absolutely ooh la la. Pizza, pasta, baffanculo. You know, the most common words in Italy. Aside from that, you can also attack North Africa easily, get your lands back from Aragon, and you have cores on all of Sicily and Malta. Not to mention, if you follow my Naples guide, you can also kill off, take all of the other Aragonese lands before they get in a PU with the Spanish, with the Castilians, can expand into the Balkans, and because you can dodge aggressive expansion between Orthodox, Sunni, and Catholic nations, you virtually can be continuously at war, and no one's gonna be in a coalition against you if you manage it properly. It's also a super strong nation, and because of its idea set, you can even play toll. You have minus 10 dev cost reduction, minus 5 tech cost, minus 10 goods produced, even morale of armies and so on. And if you do decide to form the two Sicilies, you get a few other different ideas. They're a balanced idea set between playing toll and playing wide, let's say. Do take note that if you form Italy, it is playing wide ideas, not playing toll. You can keep the old Naples ideas if you plan on playing toll in your Italian campaign. And by minus 10, I mean plus 10% goods produced. Let's not get mixed up in here, okay? Next nation on this list is, of course, Holland, one of the best playing toll nations, and this is not a top 10 playing toll nations, it's a top 10 interesting nations. You have to understand that playing toll is very interesting, okay? We'll get to the other ones, just hold on with me. Now, aside from the really awesome position, the reality is that Holland is special because it can be super rich without too many provinces. This is the embodiment of actually learning how to play toll in this game. Not only do they have events, mission trees, and a lot of other modifiers that revolve around playing toll, their own ideas are insane for that, and most importantly, the provinces are really great for that as well, since they are cloth provinces, which again offer minus 10% dev cost reduction. They're really high development provinces from the start, so you're gonna have a super strong economy from the beginning. Next is the amazing nation of Hisan Khalifa. These guys are the descendants of the Ayyubids. Well, they're not the descendants, they're literally what's left of the Ayyubid Caliphate in 1444. You know, the guys that had Salahuddin and everybody else that's famous that took over the Crusader states, destroyed them and so on. Hisan Khalifa, you can play toll, but the best, most acquired taste for Hisan Khalifa is playing wide. You want to get Saladin's legacy achievement, so you want to no CB from the very start. 11th of December, you want to no CB Akoyunlu, take them over, fully annex them, and use that newly found power to expand and to get over all of the Mamluk lands and get one of the hardest achievements to get in the Middle East. Not in the game, just in the Middle East. It might take a few restarts because a lot of the times Akoyunlu allies the Ottomans, so keep that in mind, but you can do it. I have faith in you. I have complete and utter faith in you. Manipur is the next nation on our list. One of the most insanely fun runs you can have in this game is as Manipur. You're essentially trapped between the Indian subcontinent and the Indo-Chinese peninsula. Guess what? You ready for this? You're an animist nation. You're the only animist nation in this area here. Nobody likes you, nobody wants to be your friend, and it's not gonna be easy, boys. It is not gonna be easy at all, trust me. Now, there's a few tactics you can do as Manipur. The easiest one is to snake into Tibet and then become a horde by forming Tibet and using their mission tree to reform afterwards into a horde. That's pretty much the easiest one to get the achievement. You can do that the same tactic with Kale to get their achievement as well. Manipur's ideas are not bad either. You got shock damage received minus 10%. You got morale of armies, national unrest, manpower, diplo reputation and relations. It's gonna help you out a little bit, but most likely what's gonna happen is you're gonna change over to the horde ideas whenever you switch over to becoming a horde or whatever other nation you might want to form. Starting as an animist nation is both a challenge and a benefit, because as an animist nation, it's really easy for you to convert to another religion. You can go the Hindu way, which would be the easiest way, right? Especially since you have the monument in Varanasi, which essentially requires that you're a dharmic religion and gives you minus 10% core creation cost, and it's right at your doorsteps. Look at this, just a few provinces between you and them. You just got to kill off Bengal, that's it. You can also go Confucian, which is pretty close to you too. Unlimited amounts of options. That's the reality here. Unlimited amounts of options. Here's why Ethiopia is next on this list, Chads. Ethiopia has one of the most fulfilling mission trees you can ever imagine. Not only does it give you you a permanent plus 30% manpower in true faith provinces. If you go Orthodox and you do a few shenanigans, you actually can get more manpower than the Muscovites, because your own national ideas, once you form the nation of Aksum, gives you more manpower as well. And you also can modernize the army, which changes your technology type to Western. It's the only mission tree that changes your tech type to Western. So at the start, you can have the really good African units, and then you change over to Western in the mid to late game, which means you have the really good mid to late game tier. So you get the best of all worlds, essentially. Not to mention, you start around a lot of gold mines. One of your vassals has a gold mine. There's another one in Kaffa, and there's a lot more in the south if you want to go into the south, Kilwa and Mutapa, and take their gold as well. You have a really easy expansion into Arabia, into the Africa. You might struggle a little bit with the Mamluks. It's not fun playing EU4 if you don't struggle a little bit, is it, Chads? That's what makes this game fun. Next up on our list is gonna be the secret nobody knows about this nation, Goslar. Goslar is the best nation to be playing Toll in the Germanic lands, if we don't include the Dutch here. The Dutch are not part of the Germanic lands, okay? Maybe they're semi-Germans, but they're not full-blown Germans. Goslar is full-blown German right here. Goslar, in case you didn't know, used to be the city where the Imperial Council was located. The empire was basically based in Goslar for a little period during its inception period. They start with minus 10 dev cost reduction and plus 1 diplo reputation, so that means you can get a ton of allies. And because you also have the free city at the start, which offers another minus 10 dev cost reduction, we add up the extra minus 10 dev cost reduction from encouraged development, and we can dev up our provinces for 45 dev from the very first day. This is an iron province too, so that's a lot of income that we're getting from this. This next nation is a nation that every single one of my viewers in chat right now is very familiar with. You have all been playing as this nation a lot, especially recently, and I want you to know that it's okay. I'm not upset with you for playing with this nation, okay? I am, of course, talking about Wanka. Wanka, the next nation right next to Cusco, the nation that everybody plays with on a regular basis, but nobody admits to. How many of you have been playing Wanka recently, okay? Tell me right now. Tell me you'll forever be quiet. You're all Wankas, aren't you? And now that I mentioned this, you will play as this nation because you never knew it existed before, did you? Wanka's got a great set of national ideas that include chance of new air. So if you play as Wanka, you get 50% more air chance, guys. This is maximum level right there. Even legitimacy. It increases your legitimacy too. It's good for your health. It's good to play as Wanka twice a week, okay, at least. Or 3 times a day, as some people. Next up is a nation that very few people know that it has a special achievement. You play as Quiz. You got to take over Orleans, if I'm not mistaken, in France. It's not easy, but if you do, it basically shows you that hordes and New World hordes are insanely powerful. Quiz has its own mission tree. It's not amazing though, but you can actually form a federation as Quiz. After you do form the federation, you actually get some more missions from the federation and you get some extra flavor. The best part is that you start with a tier 3 reform because you're a settled tribe, so it means you can become a horde really fast. Look at this. You just need 2 more reforms and then you can go for the Great Plains Coals to us, which essentially means you're a horde now. Congratulations. Next up on our list is gonna be, of course, the Aztecs. The Aztecs obviously are insanely interesting because, well, they offer the unique religion that is the Nahuatl religion that you should completely abandon, switch to animist by taking provinces from here, and then afterwards switch to totemist by taking provinces from Yaqui. I've shown that in my Aztecs video. You can find that in the description as well. It's really easy, really fast. You can actually switch to totemist by 1452, even 1450 if you're fast. And then after you do that, you don't need to do the stupid reforms and you can just eat up all of the Central American parts. And if you do go totemist, that means you're not a primitive nation, so you can have 100 ducats from gold alone by the 1460s, 1470s. It's insane, guys, because look at the amount of gold mines they start with. And the reality is that you also have the monument in Tenochtitlan, which offers another plus 50% goods produced. That means plus 50 50% gold. And Zacatecas also has a monument that offers +3 goods produced flat, which is the equivalent of 15 development for gold. It's really overpowered. Overall, it's just ridiculously overpowered. Next up on our list, obviously, is going to be the amazing city nation of Ragusa. Historically speaking, one of the last bastions of the Latin language that is Dalmatian. Realistically speaking, it was likely just spoken in the city itself, whilst majority of the countryside parts were speaking a Slavic or mixture of Slavic and Dalmatian, most likely. Now it doesn't exist anymore. They died off in the 19th century. Because these guys are Dalmatians, they can form Dalmatia, which is one of the best countries in the game when it comes to national ideas. I'm not even joking right now. 10% morale of armies, 15% morale of navies, 15% trade efficiency from the get-go. You got national unrest and reform progress. You got trade power abroad because you're a trade power. You got dev cost reduction and institution spread. Max promoted cultures, infantry combat ability, and this mixes amazing with the morale of armies. You got naval force limit, which mixes amazing with the morale of navies, and you also have core creation cost reduction -15. So it's like mixing in the best side of playing wide from the core creation and the military ideas and the best side of playing tall. It's ridiculously cool. Not only that, but the map color is insanely awesome as well. And the position is really easy to start your game. It's very easy to just attack Bosnia, Serbia, Wallachia, and then just munch into the rest of the Balkans. Easy peasy, lemon shaka, easy. Of course, everybody knew that this nation would be on this list. Nothing is as interesting as the mighty Roman Empire. The Byzantines, as the Germanic chronicles called them, because they were jelly boys, and they said that, no, HRE, the real Roman Empire. It's not those Greeks over there. They just call themselves the Byzantine. Now, they call themselves the Roman Empire. Whether you like it or not, they are the Roman Empire. And they got a really awesome mission tree here. Essentially, it helps you take back all of the lands from the Ottomans and all of the lands that the Romans essentially had, even claims all the way into Hispania and so on. The best part is you got to reestablish the theme system that offers until the end of the game national manpower +25. And hear me out, boys. Hear me out. Listen to this really awesome strat that you need to do to get the highest amount of national manpower modifiers stacked up in the game. Are you listening, son? You start as Byzantium and you form Axum and you do their mission tree and you get an extra 30% manpower from Axum from the mission, and you get an extra 30% from the ideas, and you get an extra 33% from orthodoxy, and it's ridiculously powerful in that case. It's just insane. If you're wondering what you should play Byzantium into Axum, there you go. I said it. I freaking said it. Now you gotta do it. We all know that Provence would be on this list also. Let's face it, Provence has the best mission tree in the game. Not only do you get either PU or cores, actual cores, on all of Naples, but you get PU over Aragon, PU over Hungary, and so on, because of this genius and amazing mission tree. And because you're also a Valois, you can get a PU over the French if you're cunning enough, and I'm sure that you guys are very cunning. Plus, you start with an alliance with the French, so you should have an easy time getting the English lands, backstabbing the French like a good provincial boyo, joining the HRE so they can't do schnitzel about it. Hehe, big smorts, boys. That's big smorts. It would not be a Ludi video without including Brandenburg in this list of interesting nations to be playing as. Why is Brandenburg so interesting? Here's why. First off, the location is amazing. Second off, look how beautiful that shape is. You know what's even better than this? When you get the 2 provinces from the Newmark event. Oh my god, that just is the best feeling ever. Clicking that one button, and then you get for 100 ducats, you get these 2 juicy lands here to make your own with cores and everything. And best part after that is that you do this mission, reclaim Newmark, gives you claims on all of Pomerania, then you finish off Volgast, and then you get Show of Strength that gives you claims on all of the north, and you get claims on all of Franconia and all of the HRE, and you can restore the German Empire's Brandenburg or Prussia, whatever fits your fiddle, right? Or whatever they say. I don't know. I don't speak English very well. And it's just absolutely amazeballs. Amazeballs, I'm telling you. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give me a soul, or I'm taking your dog away and I'm eating him. I'm kidding. I'm not eating him. I promise. YouTube, don't ban me. I love you. See you guys in the next one.